Good evening, everybody. Jeff Cisneros here, live from the Budweiser Events Center. Joining me today, UFC lightweight contender, Drew Dober. Drew, how's it going, my friend?
Oh, I'm excited to be here. Man, all these guys trained really hard. Man, the place looks fantastic. These guys are ready to throw down.
Well, we're excited. This is our Super Bowl every year. 24 fights on the card tonight. You're getting ready for your own fight next Saturday night in New Jersey. How's camp been?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, a little longer than I wanted it to be, but yeah, May 6th, I'm fighting a game opponent, Matt Frivola. And man, it's going to be a firework kind of a show. Prelim main event for the UFC 288.
That's awesome. Well, we were just talking about it. You don't know any other way but chaos.
No.
So
right.
I'm sure, take a good look at his face right now. It's going to be a different story, I'm sure, next Saturday night.
Yeah, but we got a equal and opposite dance partner with Matt Frivola who likes to also throw in some chaos. So I'm probably going to be back a little bit more colorful.
What's his style? Is he more of a striker? Is he just well-rounded? What does he like to do?
I mean, he's a complete martial artist. Striking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. So he finds any way to win a fight, but he's just super chaotic. He's a Tasmanian devil in the octagon. So I'm ready for anything.
Yeah, so it's like you two going head-to-head. Could be fight of the night bonus for you guys.
I mean, it's either going to be performance or fight of the night bonus, depending on how he wants to.
That's awesome, man. Well, we're super excited tonight. We've put a lot of work and effort into AVM 14. The card is stacked. We have everything from true Army versus Marine matchups to Army veterans to Marine veterans to active duty reservists and some super fights on the card as well. We'll kick it off first with the prelims. The early prelims starting here in just about 30 minutes. The fight to keep an eye on is going to be Ty Morton versus Ryan McGee. Ryan McGee is a U.S. Army veteran, been trying to get on this card for a couple of years. It just hasn't worked out. He is 40 years old, and he is going to be fighting a 21-year-old Ty Morton from Grinders Fitness, who's great at jiu-jitsu. I mean, you couldn't have two opposite ends of athletes on the spectrum. Ryan's in incredible shape, and so is Ty. They're going to be ready to go to war on this one.
I mean, it's a fun matchup. I mean, both guys are looking to prove, and we got the athleticism and the youth, the 20-year-old, but man, these older guys coming with a lot of enthusiasm. He's been trying to get on this card for 2 years now? So he's coming in with a lot of motivation. I'm super excited for this fight.
It's going to be crazy because one of the early fights always set the tone for the whole night, And I just wonder what it's going to be like. Is the moment too big for somebody 21 years old debuting in front of 5,000 people?
Right, and that, man, the prelims, the early prelims of the fights to watch. I mean, these guys are hungry. Both these guys are super hungry, and it's definitely going to set a tone for the night.
Yeah, I mean, every year that we've done this, we're always like, damn, I wish we would have had that fight on the main card because a lot of people missed it. Going from the early prelims, we're going to go into the prelims, and one of the fights that I'm really excited about is Kimberly Morales from V10 Training with Vern Earwood versus Michelle Winnick from Trials. Her sister, she has a twin sister, Megan Winnick, that's fought for us several times in the past. So, the ladies, they never disappoint. It's going to be pure chaos from bell to bell.
Right. When females get in the octagon, I mean, it's absolute chaos. And, coming from the prestigious camps that they are, I think it's going to be well-rounded, but super entertaining.
Yeah, if you remember back to March, Kimberly Morales fought in that kickboxing fight that we had the little fight night at Arsenal Fitness, and it was just bell-to-bell chaos. I saw you over on the cage side just being like, you did good if Drew Dober's jumping out of his seat being like, oh my God, this is madness. This is crazy.
Right. And I think in this matchup, both these girls are coming in with the same amount of excitement. And I'm probably going to have my hands on my face this time around.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting on that. That's going to be a really good one. The next fight that has a lot of implications in the middleweight division is going to be Trevor Graves from Stapleton BJJ and Don Westman's camp versus Nathan St. Nicholas. He's also from V10. He's 2-0. Last time we saw him, he had an 8-second knockout.
It was super impressive. Super impressive. I'd like to see him, go a little bit more than 8 seconds this time around.
Yeah, this fight is going to be super intense. Got good jiu-jitsu, good striking on both ends, and they both come from good camps. And then it brings us to the main event of our prelim card before we get into the main card. Josh Challenger from AFA versus Milton Roque. And this has been a fight that's been talked about the entire time since we said it. Milton Roque hasn't fought in about 3 years. He's an incredible boxer. He trains with Jose Aureliano and some other really good boxers down at his camp. And Josh Challenger has made a pro debut in New York City and upset a highly ranked prospect by knocking him out. So this is going to be one of those fights. This is probably the biggest boxing fight that we have on the card that night.
Yeah, I mean, super technical, both guys. And, I love what they both bring to the cage or the ring. Yeah. And, man, with a 3-year layoff, I'm very curious how he's able to, pick it up and see if there's any rust or anything, because we know his opponent is coming in hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the interesting things with Milton is he's really a lightweight, or was at 135, but as he's matured and he's grown more muscular, he's had a hard time making that. He's jumping 12 pounds north to the welterweight division, where Josh Challenger's cutting from 165 to 147. So he's clearly going to have the power advantage there. You know, what's it like fighting a guy that's so much bigger?
Well, I mean, in a boxing fight, you know, force equals mass times acceleration. So he's going to bring in that lightweight speed, right? And, you know, I think it's going to translate well in the boxing ring. And I'm really excited to see kind of how he goes against another bigger opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Milton Roque is a huge fan favorite. He's got a ton of fans that are in the stands tonight, and they're going to be wild and ready. So we're going to see how it goes. When we come right back from this break, we're going to highlight the main card, and then we're going to get right into the action. Ladies and gentlemen, well, Drew Dober, who's fighting next weekend in New Jersey, and he is as ready as ever. Now we can talk about what everybody in the building came to see, the main card. And kicking off the main card, the very first fight is going to be fireworks. We have William Dewey versus Connor Leonard from Top Notch. Connor Leonard just won the Golden Gloves amateur boxing title. He is just been an absolute terror to deal with in the MMA section of, you know, the MMA portion of his career as well. He has one setback. William Dewey, on the other hand, he had a 9-year break, but he's back now. His first fight back in November, he fought Christian Hightower, which, let's be honest, that is probably one of the toughest fights you can fight out of the gate. He hung in for 3 rounds before Christian was able to finish it. This fight has a lot of implications. Whoever can win this fight can take that step forward towards title contention.
I mean, this is a tough fight, both characters. You know, the guys have shown what they're capable of, and I'm really excited to open up the main card with this fight.
Yeah, me too, because William Dewey's great on the ground, but he loves to bang, you know? And so, you know, with Connor, he's very aggressive, he's strong, he's a huge 45er. This is going to set the tone for the rest of the night. This is definitely a pick'em fight, 50-50. I
mean, both guys are durable, and man, this is going to be a tough fight for both these guys.
Absolutely. The next fight, Tristan Harrison versus Jeff Wilton out of Forza. These guys are pure chaos. This is a 5-round title fight with elbows for Muay Thai.
Oh man, I coming from a Muay Thai background, I love Muay Thai. And both these guys show some beautiful violence when they're in there, and I'm excited for these guys to throw some elbows.
Yeah, Tristan Harrison undefeated, Jeff Wilton 6-2. But I mean, I can't stress enough. Both these guys have been in there with elite level competition, and so that's what tonight's about: the best versus the best. We're gonna find out who's gonna take home that strap tonight. You know, when the styles, what's the most important thing in a Muay Thai fight like this? Is it whoever can be more aggressive? Be more technical.
I mean, it's staying engaged, staying balanced, and constantly attacking. I mean, Muay Thai is all about offense. Both these guys know this, and that's why I'm very excited to see these Thai fights.
Yeah, both these guys are very offensive, and so it's going to be a very interesting fight. The next fight we're going to move into is Aino Ortiz from Peak Muay Thai and Kickboxing versus Koi Carney, also from Forza. Ladies and gentlemen, this is two of the very best 147 Muay Thai fighters in the entire country. This one is going to be a pick'em. It's about who can implement their game plan. You know, Aino is very aggressive, but he's also very, very technical. Koi is a great counter puncher, great counter striking, but he's also aggressive.
I mean, this is just showcasing the beautiful art of Muay Thai. Both guys coming from great camps, very technical, very polished, and this is going to be a showcase of just beautiful Muay Thai for this title fight.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this one. Then we move into the MMA title fights. We have a bantamweight title fight that is coming up that is absolutely incredible. The ex-Division I wrestler, Quan Hall from Oklahoma, who's 3-0, and he has shown that the transition over to MMA has just been so natural to him, versus the 18-year-old Beck Shields, who has just continued to impress. This guy's been in our show since he was 16 years old in Wyoming and beating up grown men.
I mean, this 18-year-old is tougher than nails. And I mean, I love it watching him fight every single time. But he's got to get past the tough wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough. What style is going to prevail here? Jiu-jitsu or wrestling?
I mean, we're going to find out tonight.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that makes it interesting is Beck Shields is very tall and lanky. He uses his range very well, and he's even finished a few fights with flying armbar. So Quan has to definitely, listen to his corner at top notch, use his striking to get inside and control the takedowns. And the next fight after that we're going to move into is going to be a true Army versus Marine title fight. We have Jake Valdez coming in from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, versus Cody Scher from V10. There's a lot of pride on this one. As the history goes, Army versus Marines rivalry. Who do you got?
Dude, these guys are crazy. Like, they both come from military backgrounds, but the amount of toughness and determination that they do, man, like every time you see military guys get into the cage, it's very intense. And man, who knows? Like, I'm excited to see which division prevails.
Yeah, I mean, our greatest fight in AVM history was an Army versus Marine. It was a U.S. Army, Paul Lucero versus the Marine, Jared Padilla, and literally our canvas was covered in blood. These guys had to be carried out after. It was a split decision. It was wild. It was the craziest fight I've ever seen. So it's amazing when they're tired and they can taste the blood. Nothing else matters. But when you hear USMC and United States Army in the crowd, they're going to go until somebody can't go no more.
I mean, they might even throw technique out the window and just both of them are just going in to win in any way they possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Drew, now is the fight that everybody's talked about. From the time that we announced this fight, people can't stop talking about it. The reigning king of Sparta at featherweight, Nick Montez, undefeated, versus Christian Hightower from Forza. It's crazy. Back in January when we had set the tournament, that was going to be 1 versus 2. Everybody on the planet picked those two to meet in the finals. But Brandon Melgren from Wisconsin upset Christian in the boxing fight, and he derailed that. But Nick went on to win the King of Sparta, if you remember.
Right. I mean, what a tough guy. Winning the King of Sparta tournament it takes something, right? But we finally see these guys finally, fighting each other tonight. And man, I'm excited to what kind of violence they bring.
It's going to be certified violence, but it's going to be a lot of it. And it's crazy. This fight almost didn't happen. When we were trying to set it up, I found out that they were trying to invite, LT Nelson had invited Nick to come out and train with him. So I called them and I said, do me one favor. Please don't do this. You're going to take away a fight that everybody wants to see. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to be, they have so much respect for each other. Both guys are so respectful. But I mean, we saw the dog in Montez at King of Sparta win in 3 fights. Mm-hmm. And he's just relentless. Will Christian be able to keep him off of him?
Right.
That's the question.
I think both these guys, they know each other. They've been, scheduled to fight each other in the past. They almost became, teammates and training partners. And so just the amount of knowledge we're bringing into this cage is going to excel the excitement in this fight. And I definitely want to see what kind of adjustments and game plan they have for each other.
Yeah, the exciting part for me is like, how is the fight going to start, right? Like, who's going to be safe? Who's going to go right after it? With Christian Hightower, he's got such beautiful striking, and you got to really watch that left hook to the body. That's what finished Dewey in November, is the left hook to the body. So it doesn't matter how good your chin is, you get one in the liver, the night's over. But I mean, this is a pick'em fight, 50-50, best versus best. Whoever wins this fight, I have a feeling they're going to go pro.
I think it's which fighter has the best game plan for each other, because they've seen each other fight. He knows that the body hook is coming.
Yep.
So really, who brings in the best game plan is going to win this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, nobody can ever question the heart of either of these guys. I mean, especially with Montez fighting 3 times in one night, winning a boxing fight, a kickboxing fight, and then an MMA fight against elite competition. He really showed the dog in him. A lot of people are picking Montez to win this, but there is a lot of people saying, wait a minute, Christian Hightower is going to pull this one off. And this takes us to our next fight. How awesome is it when ex-training partners get to come together and fight? Because each of them obviously took this fight thinking that they probably got the better end of training. We got Brittany Camozzi making her long-awaited return. And how fitting for AVM. She fought Mallory Martin on AVM many years ago. So to come back to AVM. And then Stacy Vega, she had been a part of Sparta a long time ago in the past. These two know each other very well, and they train. Who has an advantage in a situation like that? Do you like fighting ex-training partners, or does it just depend?
I think ex-training partners or even friends create the most fantastic fights, only because neither one of these girls are going to be afraid to lose. They're both there to just focusing on winning, and they're both super talented. They come from such amazing camps, and they know each other, right? And so they're going to come in with just aggression and the technique, and man, these girls just don't stop.
No, they don't. And everybody's been so excited. I've been following both their journeys, and Brittany Camozzi is just training like her life depends on it. I know Stacy is. She's been at Arizona at Henry Cejudo's camp, and this is going to be a very interesting fight. Again, you have Brittany, who's very tall, and Stacy's a lot shorter, but has always fought taller opponents her whole career. She's great at closing the distance. This is going to be an incredible one. I know the fans are super excited for this one.
I mean, I can't pick this one. I mean, I have no idea where these girls are going to take this fight, but I definitely know it's going to be chaos.
And then in the main event, the man they call the Viking of God, 6'8", 265 pounds, Alvin Ebbets, fighting Quentin Campbell out of Kentucky. This is going to be don't blink type of fight.
What's some big guys that they're bringing into this octagon? We might have to hold this thing up, but you can't blink on this one. I mean, with these heavyweight fights, it could end in a split second.
It really is. Both these guys are ready. Both guys are extremely aggressive. The thing with Alvin is he has been held up a little bit in his career because of his Army commitments, his military commitments, things like that. So he's got to go. He's got to go. He's got to make it. This is, his pro debut. He's looking to skyrocket to the top immediately, but Quentin Campbell is looking to derail and has a big right hand as well.
Yeah, I mean, both these guys are, active duty. They've been training, they've been working, they've been, in the chaos themselves. So this fight, I mean, it's just yesterday that they were fighting. So it's going to be a quick fight for sure.
Well, I remember last year we had, Elvin versus Josh Brettel. And I mean, you couldn't pick two bigger guys. I mean, these guys look like, Greek gods coming together at 6'8", and the whole crowd was just like, wow. I mean, to be honest with you, Alvin made very quick work of him in that fight and showed how skilled he really is and how dominating he could be. It's hard to match that guy up. And Quentin said, I want to fight him. So, it's so rare when you get a guy that's like, yep, I'll fight him. That's exciting, but also scary because he knows what he's capable of.
I mean, I'm glad that this fight is last, because I don't know if this cage is going to, fit both these dudes in there, especially the amount of aggression they're both coming in with.
Yeah, you can't go backwards after a fight like that.
I'm Nick Leipold.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Leipold.
I was a combat engineer in the Marine Corps from 1996 to 2000.
So being a Marine wife, we always knew that the service was something important to us, so we wanted to always give back. So we run a promotion called Free Furnace for a Veteran. We start taking nominations October 1st through October 31st. We'll announce the winner and install the furnace completely free of charge. The furnace is donated, our time, all the equipment and parts are all donated completely free. And that installation would happen on Veterans Day, November 11th. Please check out our website. We have a page on the website dedicated to the Free Furnace for a Veteran. And if you have any other questions, you can go to our website, lovelandheatingandcooling.com.
When you walk into a room, life gets a little sweeter. When I look at you, I see a little clearer. Through the years and change, we'll put up a fight, 'cause you're my love, my everything.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm still here with my counterpart, UFC lightweight contender Drew Dober. Ladies and gentlemen, every year AVM is such an important event, not just to myself, but to so many. AVM was started 14 years ago out of a desperate need to have a connection with my father, to understand why he was the way that he was and why our relationship was the way that it was. My father served in Vietnam with the 173rd Airborne Division, and it just left me with a lot of unanswered questions. And so I looked to AVM as a way of connecting with other veterans and seeing how I could help. And in that way, it gave me a lot of answers over the 14 years of, that my father suffered from PTSD and survivor's guilt and a few of the other things. So every year, what we do is we honor local fallen and wounded heroes, and not even just local, from all over the country. And we find a foundation to benefit, to raise money for. And this year we have a very special foundation. The Navy SEAL Fund is going to be our beneficiary tonight, and we are going to be honoring 5 very special Navy SEALs tonight, Drew.
I mean, these are the greatest warriors of the country. I mean, they sacrifice so much for us and give us the opportunity to do what we do. And I love the fact that we're just given the opportunity, and giving recognition. And this fund is very important.
It really is. And what's special about this fund is it's 90%. It's 90% of donations make it to the families that they're helping. Not $1, not $2, but 97% of it. And that's a very powerful statistic. These people are doing it for the right reason. And it's ran by Navy SEALs. So it's something that means a lot to them. And tonight, this is AVM and Sparta history. This is the first time we'll be honoring all Navy SEALs.
Yeah, it's such a fantastic thing. And just being a part of it is so wonderful. And it's such a beautiful, fundraiser, and just being able to give 90% and everything they deserve. I wish we can give more.
What I love about this event, Drew, is that it doesn't matter what your political affiliation is. Tonight, we're 5,000 proud Americans, and that's all that matters. Is we're here to support those that have served us and these 5 very special Navy SEALs tonight.
This is a fun, exciting, and a memorable night, and it means a lot.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the stream and in arena, if you want to just scan the QR code right there, it'll take you directly to the donation site for the Navy SEAL Fund. Well, Drew, thank you for joining me. Good luck next Saturday night.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us tonight. We are ready to rock and roll with AVM 14. Portion of the benefits are benefiting the Navy SEAL Foundation tonight. Thank you for joining us. Let's go.